Hebrews 13:5. Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, nor will I forsake you. So we have heard the second part of the verse quite often, that God will never leave us nor forsake us. But why did he say that? He said that because we have to trust in him and not in money. We have to live our lives free from the love of money and be content with what we have. Of course, in today's materialistic world, everybody is asking, how much have you saved? What do you have in your bank account? How much have you invested? What do you earn? So everything is revolving around money, and everybody is working towards getting more money. Especially today here where I live, many people are losing all their money by playing games and gambling like rummy and poker and all these online games, and people are drawn towards getting more money. They are cheated, and sometimes they even commit suicide and lose their lives. So this love of money is what God tells us not to have. So he says that we should love only the Lord, and God will be there and he will provide for us. Recently I read in the newspaper that the driver and servant who were working in an old couple's house murdered the elderly gentleman and the lady just to get a few thousand rupees and one or two gold trinkets that the lady was wearing. So just for that meager amount, they were ready to even murder two elderly helpless people. So the humane nature of people, the sympathy, the empathy, all that is lost when they are going behind money. So we have to be very careful and not have a love of money, because God is there and he will provide for us. I want to share with you today a small incident that happened in David Wilkerson's life. Of course, all of you know about David Wilkerson and how he was a drug addict and how God saved him. You can read more about it in his story, The Cross and the Switchblade, and I'll put it in the description for you. So he started a small ministry with some young people, and soon it became very popular. Many people gave their life to Christ. But suddenly, within a year, when he had to pay the rent and other things, the bills came up to $15,000. He had to pay the mortgage for the place that he was using and so many expenses. He had to pay the bank $15,000, otherwise they would close down the entire thing. And the date came and he prayed and prayed, but it didn't happen. And David Wilkerson was a little bit worried. He was thinking like, is it against God's will? Maybe God didn't want me to do this, or, what is it, Lord? Then he said, he asked his lawyer and people to please go and talk to the bank, and the bank just gave him a few more weeks, and they said you have to pay it within the next couple of weeks. And again he prayed, and then he decided to ask all the people whom he had asked before, and most of them were teenagers, children. So most of the money arrived in pennies. You can count the change, whatever they could collect, they collected and they sent it. But he wanted $15,000, and his bank account had only 14, not 14,000, just $14. And slowly these pennies and coins kept coming in from the children and the teens, and then some people sent some meager amount. he tried to contact the big people who had, earlier helped to form the ministry, and he wrote to them and all that, but it didn't happen. When he trusted men, it didn't happen. The days were coming. Then he just called everybody and he said, let's have a prayer meeting and, a Thanksgiving meeting. We've got the money. And everybody came, they praised God and they sang and, they worshipped God and thanked Him for the money. And when someone asked, who sent the money? How did you get the money? David Wilkerson said that I don't have the money. I haven't got the money as yet, but I just know that God will give me the money. Hereafter, I'm not going to trust in man. I'm just going to trust in God, and God will give the money. So I'm thanking and praising God because God is going to provide for us. And when he did that, God did not leave him, God did not forsake him. And exactly on that day, a check arrived for $15,000 and he was able to pay his mortgage. So sometimes we are running here and there, we are doing this and that, we think we have to do something, we have to contact somebody and go and get money and all that. But God will provide at the right time, and I am an example for that. It's happened many times in my life. So God will take care of you. Be contented with what you have. Don't go behind money. Just trust in the Lord, because God said he will never leave you, nor will he ever forsake you. Remember, God loves you so much, and his love is unlimited, and his love is unconditional. You can come to him just as you are. God bless you.